Released in July 2021 is The Green Knight by the excellent A24 Studios. Is this movie any good? Would you like it? Should you watch it? Let me help you make that decision coming up next. The Green Knight has been delayed for a number of months because of the COVID pandemic. Now it comes out starring Dev Patel in a dynamic but small role, Alicia Vikander, directed by David Lowery. The movie tells us it's a filmed adaptation of the medieval English poem Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. I say Gawain. In the movie they say Gawain. Instead of adaptation, which is right, I'd call it loose impressions. And the movie does a number on the poem. If you're familiar with the poem like me, I've taught it a number of times, you could be disappointed that it's taking vast liberties with the poem. I wasn't disappointed by that because, of course, this is a film, not a book. The story features a knight in King Arthur's court, Sir Gawain. The Green Knight comes in during Christmas time and challenges King Arthur to a game. The game is to be beheading him. And then maybe if he survives, then a year later, King Arthur, whoever takes up the game, will be beheaded. And instead of Arthur taking up the challenge, he's too old, or presented as too old in this movie. Sir Gawain, the young man, takes up the Green Knight's challenge. To Sir Gawain's surprise, the Green Knight survives the beheading, and Gawain is supposed to, a year later, go find the Green Knight at the Green Chapel. He does. He goes and takes a long, arduous journey by himself across vast terrain into places he doesn't know, and here we have the basic setup for a hero's journey, or a kind of quest. Now, the movie looks in the trailer and other places like a fantasy movie, also like a horror movie, and you might even be thinking it's an epic, soldierly, knightly quest kind of movie. It has all of those elements in brief, but it's got a mood and an atmosphere that makes this, I must say, almost solely for cinephiles, people who are willing to pay very close attention to details, to the shot making, to the atmosphere, definitely to the sound effects. And this is going to test the patience, I dare say, of people who want casual entertainment, who might think this is only an entertaining romp of a movie about a knight going on a journey. And they definitely took the Dark Ages seriously. For whatever reason, this might be the darkest movie in film history, not by mood, but by lighting. It is the lowest lit movie I can possibly think of, and the only way to get it even darker than it is to be completely black. You almost never see the characters' faces. They're in silhouette. They have heavy black or gray shades on them. Dev Patel is a handsome man, but you almost never see him really in full. And my question is, why was that done? And I'm not entirely sure why. One of the ideas could have been to accentuate the colors, specifically the Green Knight, or maybe some of the other tinting, like the reds and the yellows. It may also be trying to tell us that the knight doesn't know himself, can't understand himself, those sorts of things. I found it a little bit annoying and off-putting, though, because one of the main features of movies, period, since the beginning, is that we get to stare at interesting, unique faces on screen, and here they deny us that privilege. As well, the music made a strong impression on me, but overall it got negative as the movie went on. Beautiful discordant chords near the beginning, but then they kept going throughout the movie, and you're gonna have to endure 2 hours of low-lit film and heavy discordant music. And because this film is slowly paced, really not too much happens. It's dark and it's grim in its setting. My bet is that most people, or a lot of people, will actually shut this movie off halfway through, will leave the movie theater and not endure it. Would that be a good choice? Now, that's a question that's interesting to me. I wouldn't blame anybody for shutting this off, but the last 20 minutes I found is quite good. I really appreciated what they were trying to do, and the film got across the virtues of courage, or the lack of courage, which the knight is undergoing. Loyalty, fealty, oath-taking, oath-keeping, bravery, all those things that are supposed to make up a knight or a brave warrior or a brave person, this knight is struggling with throughout the entire movie. And by the end, the last 20 minutes shows us the whole Green Chapel scene, how that works out. It doesn't go along with the poem. The movie ends in an intriguing way, but it does kind of show the problem of the green girdle, which, not to give anything away, but the knight takes and puts around his waist. And what does it mean to wear the green girdle? In the poem, green is associated, as we're told in the movie, with truth, with the environment, with greenery, regrowth, resurrection, but also with fraud. And the movie's trying to get all of those things packed into this symbol that is sometimes there on screen, but you may not notice it And so the movie won't be all that clear to, I think, a lot of moviegoers about what it's trying to accomplish. You have to work very hard in this movie and be patient. And I am surprised this movie got such a wide release and a large enough budget to have the effects that it does. I can't imagine this is going to make money, although maybe it will. God bless A24 Studios for taking a risk here. And certainly the shot making, the filmmaking reminds me of classic Japanese horror movies like Ugetsu, for example, The Ballad of Narayama, a bunch of movies like that that are very moody. There's a tiny bit of Tarkovsky in here. There's a scene from Kubrick's Barry Lyndon that's very clear in this movie. I saw it and instantly knew what it was. And to bring up the past masters here, that's what the movie is aiming for. It's really trying to hit a home run or a grand slam, to take a baseball metaphor. Does it work all the way? Man, part of me wants to love this movie and appreciate it, analyze it for its symbolism, which all kinds of symbolism, all kinds of interesting connections between different people and different parts of this movie. On the other hand, I didn't enjoy it very much during the runtime, and on thinking about it, I still don't enjoy it that much. So part of me wants to give it 4 out of 5 stars. Part of me wants to give it 1 star. So I can split the middle and give it 2.5 to 3 stars. But you got to be careful with this movie. Definitely not recommended for people who are just going in for a casual viewing experience. I'm very curious to hear what ordinary people say, medieval scholars, what do they think of this movie and its presentation of the so-called Dark Ages, King Arthur, all that stuff. Let us know in the comments what you think about The Grey Knight, and subscribe to the channel for more great content. Thank you. Have a great day.